Lactose intolerant.
I have heard of him. I have also heard of a lot of these guys, GroundZero and Spacestation Gaming. They are underway out of Group C, and it almost starts with a kickoff goal as we resume our coverage live almost from Montreal. It is typical losing possession there to Jules. And for both these teams, slightly different rosters than what they had a season ago. Most notably, of course, for Space Station, they add Arsenal to go with AXB and Typical. GroundZero Gaming, seeing a resurgence out of Zen, perhaps. And he's certainly going to be looking for redemption, as he did not look comfortable at all on the World Championship stage. Right now, it's Deca trying to get one in front of the goal here. And a little confusion in front of the Space Station goal. They do escape without conceding a goal just yet, but it allows GroundZero to get a better foothold on the offensive end.
GroundZero with a lot of offensive possession here. They're moving back and forth, making sure Space Station don't get a solid touch on the ball. Space Station, very rough time here, clearing the ball out. They're going to need to grab some boosts and start making plays of their own.
Zen to Jules, got a big shot off, but it's going to be high. Follow-up from Deca is not going to be anywhere near the mark, and AXB should be able to take this away, or somebody from Space Station should be, but Zen keeps them hemmed in their own zone. Here comes Jules, but the ball doesn't come out the way he thought it would, and that allows Space Station to escape.
They escape. Still need to handle this possession. Ball back in the corner. A shot from Deca. AXB is going to come through with a nice save. Zen going to take a chance at it, but blocked as well. GroundZero, although the ball gets cleared into their end, they return with an aggressive counterattack and show Space Station they're here to play.
We talked about First Killer earlier on in the day being a very heavy momentum player. Arsenal very much the same way, but his highs are probably a lot higher than First Killer's are. And he's never really that low. That's going to be just wide. Follow-up from Deca. Far corner. GroundZero score first.
First goal scored for GroundZero. Very clean play. This one goes off the backboard or off that kind of sidewall on the side of the post. And Deca, perfect shot placement there from him. Again, simple but efficient, as it's just enough to get GroundZero their first goal.
Arsenal now looking for a quick equalizer. Deca says no. Typical miss there. Another opportunity for GroundZero as they rush into the zone. That's going to be blocked away by Arsenal twice. Now AXB had to one-on-one with Deca, opted to just boom it downfield. And as a result, Space Station will be down there, but they don't really have a secure attack going. Now they do! And it's Arsenal! Who else coming through?
Good goal from Arsenal. You see AXB. Nice shot down. Nice pass. I mean, it's right. Those passes that are right in front of the box, it allows the shooter to place exactly where they want to put the ball, and it gives them a lot of space to work with. That's exactly what we saw there. And, man, it's just so tough for the defense to save it. Great effort from Space Station.
1-1 very early on. Boy, the matches today that we've seen over here have been outstanding for the most part. AXB. That's right on the nose of Sipical. A miss on the clear attempt. And just barely getting a piece of that is Jules to send it away.
Good hold from GroundZero. Still stuck in their own end. Look at the aggression from Space Station. A couple of bumps here. Jules late to the ball. And now GroundZero, although they're playing very solid, it doesn't seem like they can handle a lot of offensive pressure. Maybe Space Station should look into that moving forward. It's proven to work out for them so far.
That's a giveaway, and Zen feeling very comfortable there.
And this is an awkward touch from Typical. Doesn't have a follow-up. It's barred down. Arsenal can't read it, and he's at a boost. Zen, great follow-up for GroundZero Gaming.
Deca will bring this one in. Good ball across, but Zen couldn't get there in time. All he could do is keep the ball up. But this should go away. Deca coming on. He's forced it through, but there is AXB. Typical, good dunk. That's not going to find the mark, but he finishes the job.
Typical with a good challenge, a nice dunk downfield, able to follow this one up very cleanly. No one in net. Zen a little late on the touch, as you see him rushing in as Typical makes the touch. He only helps him score that one. So defensive mistakes or positional mistakes on both sides, as we are tied up in this game.
Zen plays his way through one, but not two, not three. And it will be Typical to AXB, the long-standing duo of Space Station, and they almost combined for another goal to break the tie. Typical. That'll stay near side, and Arsenal has a tough time getting it back in front. Typical will try again, met by Jules. Final 30 seconds coming up. Arsenal, that's going to find Typical. Typical had two options. He elected to dribble up the side. It has not worked out, and now Jules is going to get that at least to the center line. Zen's shot easily set away. It looked like both sides were going to have some high-quality chances. Neither really materialized.
Nothing able to control ball through, and we might just see an overtime here with 6 seconds left on the clock. Last second play is coming up for both teams as Zen throws it into the midfield. But this ball looks like it's going to fall.
Well, it catches one more deflection. Look out, and now it does. Touchdown. Both teams kind of ended that game with a fizzle. They were threatening to score a lot more than they ended up doing so. Arsenal looking for AXB, and they connect.
And look at this. That's definitely going to be a way to close out the game. Arsenal, what a solid pass to AXB. Able to put that one in and push through game number 1 for Space Station.
Arsenal getting the pass over for AXB, and Arsenal has made his presence felt in a big, big way here in his first match at Montreal. So these two teams battle to an overtime finish. Not really different from what we expected between the two. And not a lot of shots on goal either. Only 12 between the two teams, with AXB leading the way for his squad. Zen leading the way for GroundZero Gaming. And if earlier today is any indication, most of these teams that we're going to see in Group C and D probably going to present more of the same. A lot of very closely contested matchups that could very well go the distance.
I'm really excited to see these guys get into game number 2, especially from GroundZero. They had a very strong start to this one, and they looked like they were playing a very clean, fundamental pace. But as the game progressed, Space Station just looked like they turned up the offense, and it proved to be a very big challenge for GroundZero in the later stages of the game. It looked like they just got outpaced.
We are underway in game 2, and Jules hangs in there to get the shot off, and a good thing he did. Zen follows to give GroundZero the lead.
Good shot from Zen. Look at Jules, though. Like you said, he dies for that shot, too. Being able to get demoed and make a touch at the same time, goes off the back wall, and the follow-up is clean from Zen. GroundZero, a great start to game 2, but they led in the last game. Can they hold on to the lead?
Proving what we've known for a while, despite what happened a couple of months ago. Zen is a force to be reckoned with. Typical comes in, though, and immediately GroundZero gives it right back.
Right back, and what a shot. It just looks like, for me, a defensive positional mistake there. They got caught off guard by Space Station. Great shot, though, from them.
Typical. Going upstairs. Arsenal is going to peel off and wait. And now it'll be brought back in by AXB. Local favorite here at DreamHack Montreal. This is right in his backyard. Typical had some real trouble with that ball. Boy, that looked uncharacteristic of him. Arsenal right down the middle. Jules should have that off to the corner. He does. But here comes AXB. All over him. Deca, Zen, both up. Zen accidentally makes the save, and AXB will finish it off.
AXB, another goal here from him, but typical, the effort to get that touch, it luckily sends it right in front of AXB to be able to get a quick shot in, but this is slowly turning into a shoot. Well, not even slowly. 4 minutes and 8 seconds left in the game, we got 3 goals.
Typical just got that around 1. Arsenal, that might have actually slowed things down a bit. He's got to come up with a big play, and he does not have one. Out in front, this goes. Typical beats the defense. Nobody was home.
This is what I talk about when I say outpaced. This is not necessarily a good touch either from Deca, if there was a touch. He's last in after the original challenge, and he takes his time after picking up the 100 boost. He gets beat to the ball, and it's a wide open net for Spacestation to score another goal in.
AXB. It's coming right back in. Arsenal falls on that one. And AXB is all over this again. Needs to get that midfield boost, and he does. Typical. Another great challenge at midfield. Space Station Gaming right now, Daz, it just feels like they have GroundZero scrambling on the defensive end. And anytime they're in that zone for more than 30 seconds, GroundZero look almost helpless.
They can't handle the pressure from Space Station right now. Very fast to the ball, lots of quick play, and GroundZero, you can tell they're used to playing a much slower pace of Rocket League. This is going to be a rude awakening for them, as it does look like they're just being outbeat to the ball by Space Station.
Zen looking for Deca, instead finding Arsenal. He's still up though, and he missed this ball coming all the way downfield from Zen. Deca, he is up again, but he is forced to play defense from behind, and Arsenal should easily have this ball away. He does, even though he missed. That doesn't throw off Jules, but he's throwing the ball away, and Zen has to get back again. We're seeing a lot of touches come out laterally from that side wall, Daz, and it is not helping on the defensive end.
After GroundZero, they need to be much quicker to this ball. You see Deca goes for a challenge, but he's beat by a mile. It does turn into a pass play down the stretch, but the rotation from Space Station is holding firm. This is going to be a tough axe for GroundZero.
Arsenal is up there, but Jules is up there first. This ball will bounce out for Jules, but he didn't have the read on it. And that will be sent off to the side where it can be played by Deca. Demo on Zen, so Deca's got to take this himself. Follow up from Jules, and GroundZero get back in it.
This is the type of game they're used to playing. They can easily hit some of these shots off the backboard all day long. It's about setting them up. Deca is able to get that in play for Jules for GroundZero. And with 1:42 seconds left, they just have to play that type of game that they're used to. The problem is they got to play it just a little bit faster because Space Station still beating them to the ball, still up in this game by a goal.
Loose in front for Arsenal. That'll drop down, and Space Station opens up a 2-goal lead again.
And look at the offensive pressure there. AXB was looking for a demo on Deca, but so was Arsenal, who was getting the touch to send it into midfield. He had to dodge two. He's thinking about two different situations at once, and he makes the wrong move regardless. Wide open net for Space Station yet again. They hold a 2-goal lead.
Arsenal, good first touch, but he's given that one right to Deca. Great read on the defensive end. Jules can't convert. It's still right there for anybody, and who else but Zen?
You could tell Jules wanted a piece of that ball, but he did see the rotation come in, opted to leave it. And Arsenal, he can't get back there fast enough in time. It's a great job from GroundZero. Good offensive play. 1:12 seconds now. They do get that goal back, but they got one more to give, or one more to get, I should say, if they're trying to get overtime.
AXB with another big clear, but this is coming right back. Deca's still down there, and he almost got a piece of Cyprical. Arsenal with a minute to go. Looking to reclaim a 2-goal lead, and he almost did, just narrowly missing the corner. Zen has gotten around Cyprical.
Arsenal trying his best to throw him off. AXB doing the exact same. Jules, if there's any person from GroundZero you can expect to come up clutch, it's him. Able to save that ball and move it downfield. 35 seconds left. Jules on the offensive shot. AXB able to make the save and the goal line.
You almost called it, partner. Now Deca, he's going to try his luck. Has the flip reset. Oh, what a play as he dishes off to Zen.
What a play from GroundZero Gaming. Deca, he waits for it. Look at the soft touch from Zen. AXB stuck in the net, no momentum. He can only sit and watch as GroundZero Gaming plays around him. Perfect team play. They tie it up with 22 seconds to spare.
This has not been the cleanest defensive game, obviously. 4-4 headed towards overtime, but it has been fun to watch. Haymakers left and right, and the next one from the local boy, AXB.
Huge defensive mistake here from GroundZero Gaming. Look at all the space on the field. No one is going up for the ball. AXB just shoots it in net with no regard for the defense because he knows it's not there. 9 seconds left, and SSG might have just won this unless Deca has a play here.
He had a full tank of boost, but he didn't use it well. Zen, he missed that ball. Still got to pass off to Jules to tie. No, one more opportunity. Here comes Deca. He's not going to get there. Jules, all they got to do is kill this. Zen's got to get there. He can't in time. And Spacestation Gaming wins a shootout in Game 2.
Called it earlier, too. We saw 3 goals scored in the first minute. Definitely a shootout between these two teams. GroundZero Gaming, it just seems like not all members of the team are on the same page. You have the consistent player, the clutch factor, in my opinion, in Jules, doing exactly what he needs to do. He put on some shots on net. He's making goal line saves, but we don't see that from the rest of the plays. We saw some Deca was in really bad spots at the wrong time, as all the mistakes happened when he was last man back for the most part for at least a couple of those goals. And then Zen just trying to find his field while the team is playing very inconsistent. And you can't let that happen, especially not against Space Station. They're just going to rush and rush and rush, and we saw that throughout the entirety of this game 1. 5-4, though. Space Station are not perfect. They let in 4 goals on their own, and just due to poor positioning on defense, and that's what allowed GroundZero to score. You still got at least 2 more games to go in this series, but this is the Wild West and we're in Canada. I don't... Stacks? Okay.
It's been a long day, I know. Hey, how about this, though, from Sipical? 4 goals, 3 from AXB, and a trio of assists from Arsenal. Space Station Gaming has a chance to close it out right here with, by the way, a pair of 1-goal victories, because that's what we do over here. We don't have blowouts over on the B Stream. At least not yet. Well, we had 1. Boy, do I feel bad for Paradox. Here's Arsenal. Stopped by Jules. It'll be AXB. He's got time and space, but he came up completely empty, and Zen can't get that past Sipical. And that is danger. Jules missing on the backboard. You won't get away with it often, but he does that time.
It starts at game 2 not looking so hot for GroundZero. Miss from Jules out in front. They're going to be playing this from their own end yet again. Good news is we haven't had 3 goals scored around this time, so that's a good sign for both teams, as this game does seem to be tighter than the last.
Arsenal trying to fall on this as Jules comes on. And another high bouncer, and if you're a defender just sitting on the ground, at some point you got to be going, come on! These high bounces, they are really difficult to read, especially as they're right up next to you. Great infield pass! That finds Sipical for his 5th!
There's no worry about the defense at all here when Arsenal hands it to Sipical. They have Zen in between them. He could cut this play out, but they don't worry about it. Pass comes through, shots in, Space Station score first.
The reason they picked up Arsenal. Get these passes off, and boy, can he put a pass on a dime. 4 assists. Now he's going to score one himself.
Arsenal going all over the pitch here. He does get one off the assist from AXB. Incredible dunk. And he gets a bump to eliminate Jules out the play. Arsenal has a path created for him, and he puts the ball in.
At the conclusion of this, whenever it does end, and it may well end after this game, the way this is going, we will go to FC Barca against Plot Twist. You mentioned Plot Twist a little earlier, Daz. They are up 4-0 right now on Barca in Game 1. This ball, that's going to find the net too, as Sypical adds another.
Spacestation just starting to take this one into their own hands at this point. Look at the read there from Sypical all the way downfield. He makes that look pretty as he scores Spacestation third.
Jules plays that through on the kickoff, but guess what? It's found Arsenal, and he's going to get a challenge here too. Deca had to really fight to stay with this ball. Now AXB, they're just toying around with GroundZero right now. 3 minutes left, 3-goal lead, and more pressure. They are not letting GroundZero out of this zone at all. Not anywhere close to the center line until just now, but it's dunked right back in. And again, Space Station Gaming pour on the pressure. Another ball towards the front. That'll be over AXB. GroundZero need anything to go their way, and it is not going to happen because Sypical's in the way. Again, GroundZero Gaming looking to break this shutout effort from Space Station Gaming. Every game has been very close so far, but the frustration has to set in for GroundZero. All the chances they had right at the tail end of last game, they could not find the last goal they needed to tie it again. And Zen now, he may have to be the one who takes over, and he gets hit out of the air by Arsenal, so much for that.
GroundZero right now just all back, letting AXB do whatever he wants to with this ball. It'll drop in front of their box. And again, more space being given. An infield pass to a shot from AXB. And what more can you say? There's just no defense.
It feels like I'm watching. Yeah, it feels like I'm watching the Peeps and Rival series all over again, with Arsenal racking up assist after assist after assist. That's 5 now in 2.5 games. Jules, wide circle around this. GroundZero, if they're going to start a comeback effort, it's got to start right about now. And they do not score on that effort. Back downfield we go. Zen is the only one there. Fortunately for him, the boost spawned, but that's not going to do him any good. He got hit out of the corner, and now he's just not going to be up in time to get this ball further downfield as Space Station Gaming take over again. Deca trying to interfere. He can't. They're trying to go deep into the bag of tricks, but they run into each other. And that is a great illustration of how this series has gone for GroundZero. Great plans in concept, but in actuality, nothing happening at all on the offensive end, at least in Game 3.
It just seems like they have poor offensive execution. When they're on defense, doesn't seem like that was the most I've seen them all go for a touch. They triple commit and they still miss. So just doesn't seem like they're playing consistently at all, whereas Space Station Gaming just comfortable. And it looks like they're going to come through and win this series here. 30 seconds remaining, 4-0 in Game 3. And Space Station, I mean, Arsenal looks like a good fit, but the team is just playing phenomenally currently.
You remember the old Caster's curse from back in the day after saying, no, we don't have blowouts. Boy, was this one-sided. Another ball thrown away, and that's about it. 5 seconds left. The shutout is likely going to remain intact as that's popped off the mark. Arsenal will get this down, and Space Station Gaming have a date in the semifinals.
Looking good with Arsenal right now. And the team played great from Space Station Gaming. GroundZero had a burst early on, but after that OT, it just seemed like they fell flat, and they continued to do so for the rest of the series. They'll have to pick things up as they move into the losers half of the bracket. That being